Hey, what's up, you guys? Steeler here, and today we're going to talk about Super Mario Party, the game that Nintendo just revealed at E3 2018. The next installment of Mario Party, and I'm going to be honest, y'all, I am, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever actually, thinking about it, I am actually excited for a new Mario Party game coming out. Because at a glance, just based off of what we know right now, this totally looks like a return to original Mario Party. And even with that being said, they still put a little bit of love in the game for the people that do happen to enjoy the newer games like Star Rush or Top 100. Honestly, not really my cup of tea. Haven't really messed with it a lot, but it's there. So they're catering to fans of old and new Mario Party. So let's get started. Let's get into the details, the specifics of what they've done to finally give me hope in this series again. I didn't think they could do it. I thought it was dead in the water. But it's back, baby. It's back. Okay, so the first thing they showed off was a traditional board game where all four characters move around individually. There's no car like Mario Party 9 or Mario Party 10. There's no Bowser chasing you like Mario Party 10. And it's a full-fledged board, you guys. There's star spaces. In this game, Toadette is the one that hands out stars. At least on the game board that they showed, stars cost 10 coins. Okay, so it's half the cost of what a star traditionally was. You get 5 coins to start the game instead of 10. Okay, so it seems like there's not as much free coins in the game, and just the total coin values are down a little bit, but just because the numbers don't match up exactly doesn't mean it's not real, quote-unquote, real Mario Party. There's blue spaces, there's red spaces, there's event spaces. There's no chance time that I could see. So that's one thing Claw's gonna have to deal with. But, you know, there's even a boo space. It's not actually boo. Lakitu in this game, or Lakitu, however you want to pronounce that. Lakitu can steal coins for free or a star for 30 coins, okay? So that's also a little bit cheaper. So it seems like stuff's cheaper overall, which I don't have a problem with. I mean, the pace of the game might be a little bit slower. Like, it's harder to accumulate as many coins as fast. But that's fine. I mean, they probably did that to prevent snowballing as much as you could in the old games. But there's another thing too that's coming back that I definitely need to mention. Items are coming back. In this build of the game that they were demoing, it came with items automatically. Like, they started the game with 2 items. And I can go into detail about the items there in a little bit, at least what was shown off. But they're legit items, you guys. There's some newer ones. There's like a warp block, just like in the original Mario Party 2 items. And Mario Party 3. There's a coin soda can thing where every space you roll gives you a coin. There were a few others shown, but basically they're legit items, and you can buy them. You can buy them. Wiggler runs the shop in this game, and so you can buy them with coins just like in the old traditional Mario Parties. Like, it's legit. It is back, y'all. One thing I did want to mention, though, in addition to items, there's also different dice blocks that you can roll. So that's also something they're taking from the newer Mario Parties. So every character can roll a 1 through 6 block. Okay, it's not 1 through 10 anymore, it's 1 through 6. But you can also, each character has their own particular dice block with 6 different things they can roll. So a character like Bowser, for instance, who, by the way, is playable, Bowser is all or nothing on his dice block. So, like, the bottom 2 rolls he can get, he would lose coins. I think it's -3 coins. Or he can roll a 0. or he can roll like an 8 or 9 or 10. Okay, so either you make a bunch of progress or you lose coins or don't move anywhere. So that brings a whole new aspect of strategy just to picking your character. So it's kind of like Mario Party 7. Because in 7 you had the character specific items, the orbs. In this one, every character has their own dice block that they can use. So that's really, really interesting. Honestly, I'm not opposed to it. It's fine. It adds more strategy to the game. But I don't like when there's differences between characters and multiple people can't pick the same character. You know, because everybody already like fights over like who's playing as Donkey Kong or Yoshi in the old Mario parties, and it doesn't even matter. But now it really does. Every character has their own dice block, so depending on how you want to strategize, how you want to move through the board, whether you just want to make consistent progress like Mario, he's got consistently just decent rolls, nothing amazing, nothing terrible, or you want to go all or nothing like Bowser, you know, that's something you want to keep in mind when you pick a character. But that's a cool addition. And also, something coming back kind of from Star Rush is that you can actually partner up with a character that's not being played. Occasionally there will be a character on the board that you can run into, and you'll have access to that character's dice block on your next turn, and it will add that to your roll for that turn. So that's pretty interesting too. Honestly, there's not a lot to say about the board gameplay. It really just looks like traditional Mario Party overall. The board that they showed in the demo was a little small though, which I didn't really like. I do prefer bigger boards, but that's not a big deal. You know, Mario Party 1 had some pretty small boards, so that's okay. That's okay. But another thing too that signifies this is classic Mario Party. There's a minigame after every turn. 4 players roll, and then a minigame. 4 players roll, another minigame, which is awesome, especially because this game looks like it has some really, really good minigames. Every single minigame that they showed off, I was pleasantly surprised by or impressed. Like, it just looks like a lot of fun. I'll show some footage. Honestly, my favorite ones that I saw, there was a 1 versus 3 where basically the 3 on the team have to run door to door to pick up packages, and they can hold 2 at a time. Or the single player controls a drone that can just fly wherever they want to control it to pick up a single package at a time. And whatever team has the most packages at the end wins. So that seems like a really balanced game. It ended up in a tie, actually, on the game itself that they played in the demo. But another one I like was there's a 2 versus 2 doubles match where the 2 teammates would take turns like dumping snow down on a little receptacle thing, and whatever team had the highest snow pile won. And as you can see here in the footage that I'm hopefully showing right now, there's a lot of strategy to that. You really have to time it, and you can run out of snow if you use it unwisely when the receptacle's not underneath you. So that's, I mean, honestly, it looks awesome. There are some mini games they showed that utilize the Joy-Con motion controls, and that's okay. It looks to be a lot better than Mario Party 8's Wiimote controls were. I mean, it's been 10 years since Mario Party 8. The technology has gone a long way when it comes to motion. You don't need the sensor bar anymore. You know, it's awesome. So I have no doubts that it's going to be responsive. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be kind of like what Mario Party 8 should have been in terms of just giving you more variety in how to play these minigames. Instead of just being button mashers or, you know, using the analog, just pressing buttons, which I don't have a problem with. I love that too, but keeping it fresh always helps as well. And it does matter the fact that, you know, it does use Joy-Con controls. It looks like it is kind of integral to the game because you can only use a single Joy-Con to play for each player. So you can't use the Pro Controller, you can't use 2 Joy-Cons together even. You can't use a USB controller either. It's Joy-Con or nothing, baby. Which is okay. I mean, Mario Party's supposed to be... They're really aiming to make this a simple pick-up and play game as well. Which, honestly, is a smart thing to do. I'm down for that. I mean, the Switch is portable. Being able to take a party game with you anywhere you go and actually being fun to play. A quick and easy few mini games or whatever, or a quick board game. You know, with a Joy-Con, that's awesome. That is awesome. And along those lines too, there's new things that they introduced that will make it more interesting to play. You know, with friends when you're out on the go or something like that. That I'll go into. But before I do, I did want to mention as well that you can adjust the number of turns that you play on the board game. So it's not stuck to 10 like in Mario Party 10 was in the Amiibo Party mode, which is like the saddest excuse for a traditional Mario Party. Like, they were kind of aiming for it, like, hey, look, you can play as an individual character, not in a car, and you can roll the dice around a square board that doesn't have much interactivity at all. But that's definitely not the case here. You can do the map-o-matics, as I like to say. You can look at the map, plan out your route, where you want to go when you take a branching path. In fact, they do a really good job when you take a branching path. It'll actually show you where you're going to land ahead of time. Like, it says, hey, stars be over here, or versus minigame over here, you know. So it makes it a little bit easier to decide where to go. A lot of playable characters in the game already announced as well. It's over 20. I'll put in the description exactly what characters are listed, but it's a bunch of weird, like, random enemies too, like they've been using before. Like, Hammer Bro comes back, Goomba is now playable, Pom Pom is playable. What else, man? A lot of just random characters. Monty Mole is going to be playable, which I don't really care about. The weird thing is, like, DK and Diddy Kong are both playable, which are great. I mean, those are cool characters. Diddy Kong's never been playable, I think. But Toad and Toadette are not, because they're the hosts of this game. Toadette hands out the stars. Toad kind of explains the rules of each game board, you know, when you first open it up. And Bowser obviously is not really a factor on the boards as well. Like, there's no Bowser spaces. He's playable now, which is the trade-off. Honestly, I kind of miss that. I miss the I miss being afraid of Bowser, or like, oh god, there's a Bowser minigame coming up. That's not going to happen anymore. There's no real, at least as far as we've seen, there's no real, like, enemy that's trying to mess you up in the game, which is kind of a shame. But overall, I gotta say, I'm impressed. Even the presenter that was at E3 mentioned, hey, if you guys are wanting to get competitive with this, if you want to take Mario Party seriously, you totally can. And they basically described Mario Party TV as well. They were like, yeah, if you... Honestly, this game, Mario Party, can get more intense than Smash Bros. Even. I'm like, hell fucking yeah, I can. So they acknowledge that, hey, some people like to just play for fun. That's okay. And some people like to play for fun and get fucking mad about it and take it serious. So that's us, and that's right up our alley. They really, like, listen to all of my prayers. I never thought this would happen, that they'd go back to it, but I think they probably took note of the feedback, or rather the complaints that they've been getting about Mario Party for the last several years, like 10 years. Jeez, since we last had a traditional Mario Party like this. So it's finally back, you guys. But that's not it. That's not the only mode in the game that we know of so far. Of course, they've probably got other stuff they want to reveal, but there's also another mode in the game that's way more reminiscent of, like, Star Rush, where you can move freely along a game board, right, as you see it there. Every space is something that you can move to. You have free movement, but in this mode, it's in teams. It's in pairs of 2, and when you roll, you both share the same roll. So as a team, if you roll a 9, you both move 9 spaces. You still go for stars in this mode, so, you know, Toadette is still there. You still want to get to it first, but it's still a cool. I don't see. I think it's still a cool mode. I'm so interested in playing it because the fact that there's teams, there's a lot of strategy involved there, and from what I've seen from the teams mini games, they all look pretty good. I have all of the faith in the world that these mini games are going to be great, whether it be 1v3 or doubles or just free for all. And really, that was never the issue with any of the new Mario parties. They've done a great job making mini games. It's just that you never got to play them if you were playing through the board game. That it's 50-50, man. You gotta have good boards and you gotta have good mini games and you gotta have a good share of both. So finally have that option there. You know, in the Star Rush style mode, you can hop on the opponents and steal a coin from them. That's pretty cool. Honestly, I'm still way more interested in the traditional board gameplay, but yeah, this other mode is there as well if you do like Star Rush. Seems like they've polished it a little bit, so yeah, you can definitely go ahead and play that too. And also, there's another thing that they put in the game, another mode called Toad's Rec Room, where you can play mini games on 2 switches that are aligned next to each other. And like, this is, I mean, you don't even need a Joy-Con, do you? Yeah, you do, actually. For some of the mini games you do. But some of them you don't. For example, there's one where you just gotta match the switches so that a whole banana matches up between the 2 screens. And you've got another one where it's basically like the Tanks mini game in Mario Party 2, where you're just shooting at each other in tanks. And you respawn, so it's not all or nothing. You can play it for about a minute or 2. But yeah, that's really cool as well, honestly. Like, you and your friend have your Switch and you're out with a bunch of friends. And you're like, hey, you guys want to play a little bit of Mario Party? And just lay the Switches down on the table and have a go at it. So that's really accessible, really fun. I think this is like the brightest timeline when it comes to Mario Party. This is amazing. Like, they've got the traditional Mario Party back. They've got new modes as well for faster, more casual play for just anybody that you're hanging out with. If you take your Switch with you, anybody can play these games. You don't have to be familiar with Mario Party at all. It's super simple, super easy, super fun to play. And there's a little bit of Star Rush in there too, because I know people who do like the newer Mario Parties that have come out since Mario Party 8. Honestly, I feel like these people didn't really appreciate the older games as much, which is okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but like, if you want to actually have a real go of it with your friends in Mario Party, 9 and 10 are just not the way to go. It's a completely different kind of atmosphere. It's not as competitive. There's not as much freedom or agency that you have in the newer games, at least in 9 and 10. Star Rush, you know, that was a different kind of formula that we're trying out. It wasn't terrible. Haven't played a ton of it, to be honest, but you know, when they included that kind of mode in Mario Party Top 100, I did enjoy it a little bit. Like, it was interesting, but obviously it wasn't classic Mario Party. So they've done a little bit for the fans of the newer games as well. So I think everybody can be happy with this product. Obviously, the game's not out yet, so things could change. I could be completely disappointed and proven wrong. Maybe they only have the one Mario Party board. I highly doubt it, though. It's like a Thwomp Ruins kind of board. But man, I just want to hear what you guys think about the game. Comment down below. Please let me know. I'm excited, and now we're gonna do some gameplay of it as well, of course, but it'll be a little bit delayed since I don't live back with the rest of the Mario Party TV crew anymore. But when I do come back home to visit, you better believe we're gonna be playing some Mario Party. Because for the first time since we even started hanging out, there's a new Mario Party that has classic Mario Party style gameplay. So, I'm excited. Finally, there is online functionality in this game, but it's not what you think. You can't play game boards online with friends, at least as far as we know so far. It's actually a mode where it's called Mario-a-thon, where it'll be 5 mini games that you can compete in. There will be leaderboards. online leaderboard, so everybody can see who's the fastest, who's the best at those mini games. It's 5 mini games, and the mini games will rotate, so it's not always the same 5, fortunately, because in the top 100, their little minigame competition thing, yeah, it was like the same 10 minigames or so every time. So that gets tiring really fast. But there's 80 minigames in this game, and I assume not all of them will be available in Mariothon, but a good portion of them. So that'll be at least one way to compete with people, one way to compete with friends, even online. But still, fingers crossed. That's the one thing I really want that I haven't seen yet, is online board game play. I doubt it'll happen, but if that does happen, hey, we could do a new Mario Party TV episode the day the game comes out. I won't even have to go back home to play. So that's what I'm hoping for. But even if not, I'm pleasantly surprised by this announcement. I wasn't even expecting a Mario Party game, let alone a good one. But again, let me know what you guys think. If you have anything you're concerned about as well, about the gameplay, or something that you missed that you really want to come back, yeah, let me know. We haven't seen all the items, I hope, that are available. Hoping for stuff like plundered chests, reverse mushrooms were always awesome. Something like that just gives you more depth to the gameplay, more options, you know. Oh, and by the way, I am definitely working on that next episode of Let's Play Every Mario Party. It's going to be Mario Party 1, it's the Bowser map, and it's going to be great. You got all the Bowser maps coming up on this season. A lot of bullshit happens, as I'm sure you're aware. And yeah, just make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon, I guess. I don't know. I think that means that you can get the videos in your inbox or something. YouTube's changed a lot since we first started Mario Party TV up here, which says a lot for how long it's taken us to finish this. But the point is, hey man, we have it all played out so far for Season 6, so it's just a matter of getting those videos up. I'm working on it, don't worry. E3 took up some of my time, of course, because Mario Party announcement, and also Smash announcement. Holy crap. I've always been a big Pokemon Trainer fan. Squirrel's my favorite Pokemon, so I'm digressing. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please, let me know if you're happy with this Super Mario Party announcement. I'm sure you are. If you're not, though, I definitely want to hear from you, because I don't know why you would be upset about this. This is the best possible thing they could have done. It's the smartest thing they've done in the past 10 years for Mario Party, so hopefully this isn't the end of it. Hopefully there's more of this. Maybe they can start a new series, Super Mario Party 2 and 3, and so on. You know, this is the new real beginning for a new series of Mario Party. But we'll have to see. Stay tuned.